I do not vibe code, but I use AIs the correct way. I'm Matteo, I've shipped more than 5 products, and I'm building a new one for a startup that I'm launching with my friends. In this video, I'm going to share the method and the tools and frameworks that I use related to AI to ship extremely fast, and by the end of this video you're going to be able to ship stuff incredibly fast, or at least know the theory behind it. Also in the description you have my template for Next, in which inside you also have a markdown file with some prompts that I use to generate some scripts for my projects. So I made a video about my tech stack, I changed some frameworks, but mainly the core is still that one, so you can check it out. And so I said that I do not vibe code, and indeed it is true. The reason is simple. I just think it really slows me. And in my opinion, it slows all the developers that are already kind of experienced, know how to build stuff. If you are shipping stuff, if you are a developer, there's an high chance that you developed your own templates and boilerplates over the years, and you iterated over them, making them always better. And if you are starting a new project, there's no reason for you to go using a vibe coding tool to create that while you have your own boilerplate and templates. If you use your vibe coding tool, you just will find yourself starting from scratch, and you have to basically iterate over it over the project for quite a while just to have something that is not nearly as polished as your own template. And if you do not have your own template and boilerplate, I don't know what you're waiting for. Just go close this video and start creating your own, because they are extremely useful. Please do that. In my case, I have different templates and boilerplates for different kind of applications. I have them, for example, for web, mobile apps, but also related to actually what I'm building. So for the web, I have the one which allows me just to publish landing pages very fast, the other one just to build SaaS, which already has payment subscriptions and stuff already implemented. So whenever I want to start a new project, I just take one of my templates, change the UI, adjust the style. If I want to do something more specific, I can actually change some components, and then I just code the business logic, and boom, I already have an app ready to go. The only thing that I'm actually coding is the business logic, and in my opinion, with today's tool, is something that I would never delegate to a vibe coding tool, but not even to an AI tool. That's the only thing that I need to code. I would rather just code it myself. I trust myself more than AIs. For now, I don't know in the future. You can also feed your own templates and boilerplates to the AIs and start from that point. But even in that case, you do not have the ability to just improve over time, just to get better yourself, which is the most important skill. While instead, whenever you start a new project and use a template and you're coding a business logic, you're gonna run into some stuff that you can change, that you can improve. And whenever you do that, you first are teaching yourself how to get better. Iterate over your templates and making it better, so that the next time you already have those features implemented. And in certain cases, there might be a possibility in which you might delegate coding business logic with a vibe coding tool, in case, for example, the business logic is extremely simple, and you might save some time at the beginning, but in any way you're gonna run into tech debt. You're gonna have some problems changing the code in the future. And this is not only for non-technical people, but also for technical people, because coding is kind of a personal skill. Everybody has ways to organize projects and write code. And if you delegate that to a vibe coding tool, you're gonna basically have code that has different structure than your usual code. And so when you will have to modify this code like months from now, you're gonna have a much harder time modifying it. So I also made a video about vibe coding and why I think probably if you're watching the video, you should not vibe code, so you can check it out. But we all know that AIs are very good at generating stuff. And in terms of coding, I'm talking about standalone code. This is how I'm using AI to 5x my output as a developer. So whenever I need to write a certain Python script or a JavaScript function, I just ask the AI with the prompts that are in the description, and they just output me a code. I can just modify a little bit. 99% of the time it works perfectly, and it allows me to save like tons of time during my day-to-day work. So perfect example of this is I am using Firebase for mainly all of my products. Whenever I need to do some automation, which is something probably I do once, I need to fetch all the users under a certain condition and then just send them email. I just want to do it once without using any external tool. The best way is just to write a script that fetches all the users and then sends the email to them. And to do this kind of stuff, like AI are perfect. because you can just give the context saying that you're using Firebase, the collection structure. So you're just saying, okay, I have these users and then I have some sub collections that you give the database structure to the AI and then ask it to just generate a script that does certain tasks. And in that case, you can save tons of time, because of course I could write that script myself, but it would take probably, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour. And in that case, I can literally just run the script 40 seconds after having asked the AI to generate it for me. So I don't know if there are developers out there that are not using AI tools in this way, but if you are not, just please start, because in this way you can really save a lot of time. I'm using Gemini and Claude. Some time ago, Claude was the best option for coding, in my opinion. In the latest time, I have to say that Gemini has become a lot better, and probably even better than Claude. And if we are talking about Gemini Pro, in my opinion, it's the best out there. It has chain of thoughts integrated inside, so whenever you ask something, it's going to basically do a chain of thoughts of all the possible solution, research stuff, and then in the end draft a complete response for you. The only problem, of course, is that you have to pay for Gemini Pro. You have certain amount of messages daily. I think it's something like 6 to 7 messages daily. Since I do not use AI too much, what I do is just whenever I have to do some difficult task, I use Gemini Pro. I draft a very good prompt and then ask the AI to generate that stuff for me. So whenever the task is fairly hard, I use Gemini Pro. When it ends the messages, I go to Gemini Flash, which by the way is open. And if I need it, I also have Claude. At the moment, I have to say that just using Gemini, I'm finding myself very good. There has been a time that I was using just Claude, but at the moment Gemini is very good in my opinion. Whenever you are asking to do stuff, you need to double check the answer, because many times they might be hallucinating, mainly in situations where you are using kind of unknown frameworks. So for example, if you're writing C++ script with a very weird package from some nerdy guy, there's an high chance that the AI is going to hallucinate and give you wrong answers. This is why I gave you a free markdown script in my Nux template that you can use. You can go there and you have all the prompts that I have been using for my projects. You have one for the performance analysis, one for the security, one for generating code, and one for fixing problems and bugs. These prompts are organized in a way such that you can just put in the framework that you're using, the dependencies, the language, and then you can write the task. And since this markdown is on a public repository, if you want to change it, you can just file a pull request and I will check it, and if it's good, we will merge so that we can improve these prompts over the time. So if you are a developer and you're not using AIs, just start. You do not need to vibe code. There's no need. I do not vibe code, but really start integrating AIs into your workflows and start having your own libraries of prompts, because it's going to save you a lot of time. The most important thing, by the way, is just that as a developer, you always hone your coding skill to perfection. This is the most valuable thing that you have. Learn how to really code in your own way, how to model problems, to solve them very fast, because if you really hone your coding skill, you are going to compound the speed that the AIs can give you. If you know how to code and you start using AI the correct way, it's incredible, because you can literally ship stuff in 2 days. So that's it for today's video. Remember, you have in the descriptions all the free resources. You have a Nux template, and you have also inside the template a markdown file with all the prompts that I'm using. If you reach this point of the video, I'm really grateful that you heard me yapping about AIs. And yeah, so that's it. Cheers.